Hello and welcome, everybody. Welcome to News for the Left in Us, coming to you from downtown Andersonville in the great city of Chicago, the Chicago city's north side. On one of the more warmer Christmases, Tia has joined us. I don't recognize Cocoa Beam is here, and somebody else is in the room. I'm not sure who that is. Oh, we've got a total of 5 people, so tonight's show is going to be all about, well, it's going to be about Trump. Isn't it always about Trump? But hello, Brenda, G185. Welcome to the showgram. My name is Revolution McInnes, if I didn't say that. Analog Kid is here. I hope everybody had a happy holiday. I got to tell you, my 5-year-old's best gift from the Kris Kringle, from the Santa Claus, from the old Fat Meister himself was a $5 deck of playing cards. We modified Go Fish and Rummy and came up with our own game, and it's just been a blast. We played War. We've been doing matching games and learning magic tricks. We had a great holiday. My parents were over here on in the evening on Christmas Day. We didn't go anywhere, which is what we like. And hello, Cocoa Beam. Cocoa Beam is here and joining us. Cocoa Beam and Analog Kid are 2 of our regulars, and they are diametrically opposed. They are like that Star Trek episode, you know, where like Spock had a goatee, you know what I mean? Like good Spock, bad Spock. I won't say which one of those guys is the good one, which one of those guys is the bad one. I'll let you figure it out for yourself. CC Vanessa is here. How was your holiday, everybody? I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I hope all the merriment was fun. And for those of you that got hammered, are you still got a headache there? Getting through the holidays is always an interesting time for the McInnes household. Always an interesting time. My wife and I commented that if we didn't have kids, we wouldn't even put up a tree. We've still got Halloween decorations here, but you know, we're all goth and you know, we're pagans here. So the Yule tree is still lit. It'll probably be up for a couple of months, and I'm glad everybody is here and joining us. Logical Citizen 4, welcome. First time I've seen you in here, Logical Citizen. So tonight, what I want to do is, because so many people rarely get the opportunity to actually hear the dumpster give a speech, and oh, what a speech he gave, supposedly in Iraq. There was a shot of Air Force One flying over Europe, and everybody wondered, you know, what was going on, what was Trump doing. Supposedly, I think he just landed in Wiesbaden, and they faked. Ash Paul's joined us. I think they faked the whole Iraq trip. He was, although I will talk about it, I got a rock for Christmas. I got a rock for Christmas. Hey, guys, says Ash Pauls. Welcome, Ash Pauls. Hope your holiday was a great one. Up there in Canada, you're right up there in Kris Kringle territory, so he probably hits your guys' houses first. Ah, my 5-year-old is coming in and telling me he loves me. And here, let me see your little present there. Yeah, see, he got his little what is this guy called? This is Marshall. Marshall plushie. He loved that gift right there, and as well as, like I said, his playing cards. But we have had a great time. We got I don't think I put the video up on. I put it on my Insta G of him with his drone. But I hope everybody had a fantastic time. So what I wanted to do was, I'm going to, Ali Rogan from ABC News, basically, yeah, milk and cookies with Santa. Santa took a big bite of a cookie here, didn't he, Aiden? And drank the milk that we left for him. And I did want to talk about this speech that Trump gave in Iraq, because, you know, we don't always get to hear the text of his speech, as I said. And Ali Rogan from ABC News was kind enough on Twitter to basically transcribe portions of the speech in tweets. So I'm going to be reading those, and we can comment on those as well. And then I've got some commentary here at first to go with it. Brenda G185 says, hey to Ash. So let's get this thing started. Trump's speech to the troops in Iraq. This selfish you-fucker of a man is about as stupid as a human being can get. That's assuming that the anchor baby in chief is actually a human being. I'm going to read the transcript of his speech provided by Ali Rogan, as I said, of ABC News on Twitter. It's rare that most Americans hear the moron speak, so here we go. Let me find this on the screen. Okay, so we had an incredible meeting that lasted for about an hour, and you have no idea what we're going to come up with. You're going to be so happy, says Trump. we had with Commanding General LaCamera and some of your great representatives, and we have some ideas that are more than ideas that are going to be just, we like to win. Do we like to win? We're going to win. Oh, Aiden's right here. Hold on a second. As long as you're quiet, you can sit up there. As long as you're quiet, you can sit up there. The producer's trying to get him off the set there, but there he is. You have to be quiet. You have to be quiet, and you can stay. And so then we felt very safe coming in, he says. Now, we're going to countermand that in a minute. We felt very safe coming in. It was a difficult journey in certain ways, but we felt very good, very self. Nico Gotti is here, and he means his wife. And also, we knew exactly where we were going, and we were going to say hello to you and wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. As we get all of this billions and billions of dollars of new equipment that I approved over the last 2 years, you're getting such new equipment. Your eyes are popping, right? Your eyes are popping. You're getting the best equipment in the world. I just want you to relax. Just have a good time for a few minutes. Now, these guys are in a semi-war zone, and he's telling them, just I'm here, relax. Just have a good time. He was scared to death. He really was. And I'll be heading to another location, and I'll be heading back, but I have you totally in mind, totally in mind. Here we go. To Base Commander General Maddox, he says, Colonel, thank you very much. Great job. Thank you, Colonel. No games, I can see. I know people. No games with the Colonel. Trump doesn't give speeches. He just has a series of unintelligible brain farts. Imbeciles. Hey, you shouldn't expose your child to the Trump derangement syndrome. It's not right. That is true. That is true. You should not expose your child to the Trump derangement system. The other reason I'm here today is to personally thank you and every service member. Rev still thinks it's Christmas. Well, Rev doesn't celebrate Christmas. He celebrates the pagan holidays. The other reason I'm here today is to personally thank you and every service member throughout the region for the near elimination of ISIS. Of the ISIS territorial caliphate in Iraq and Syria. Who made up those big words for him? 2 years ago when I became president, they were a very dominant group. They were very dominant. Today, they're not so dominant anymore. So ISIS still has 30,000 people in Syria, and Trump has feeding us this line that ISIS is dead. And ISIS 2.0, when he comes back, didn't he call... I think he called Barack Obama the founder of ISIS, right? So Trump will be the founder of ISIS 2.0. So then Trump goes on to say, we are not nation building. Rebuilding Syria will require a political solution, and it's a solution that should be paid for by its very rich neighboring countries, not the United States. Let them pay for it. And they will. They will. Our presence in Syria is not open-ended and was never intended to be permanent. 8 years ago, when we went there, 3 months, and we never left. No, U.S. airstrikes in Syria began in September 2014, 4 years ago. Trump thinks we've been there, guys. Everybody, Trump thinks we've been in Syria for 8 years. We've been in Syria for 4 years. If they want us to do the fighting, they also have to pay the price, and sometimes that's a monetary price. So we're not the suckers of the world. We're no longer the suckers, folks. And people are not looking at us as suckers. This is the President of the United States using language like that to troops. We are not the suckers of the world. I think we are the suckers, everybody, because anybody that voted for him certainly was a big sucker, that's for sure. By the way, this is iced tea with ice cubes, so I'm very hip. I don't know if you folks are aware of what's happening. We want to have strong borders in the United States. The Democrats don't want to let us have strong borders. Only for one reason. You know why? Because I want it. Why am I not seeing your guys' comments here? What's going on? Merry Christmas. I see you read my comment. Trump might eradicate vanilla ISIS, but that's it. Sounds like you. Greetings from Dem Warrior Princess. Did he tell the troops that they were getting an over 10% pay raise? Oh, yeah. That's coming up. We will only know what you are reading. Well, I'm reading Trump's speech here, buddy. When you think about it, if you're fighting for the borders in other countries and they don't want to fight the Democrats for the border of our country, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, right, he's putting the troops down, basically telling them that they're wasting their time fighting for borders in other countries. I mean, this guy is just totally off his rocker. Then Ali Rogan goes on to say, Trump then makes two flagrant lies in a row. He said the U.S. military got its first pay raise in 10 years. Fact. The military has received a pay increase each year except in 83, and that was a technical glitch. Okay? So Trump is telling them that this is the first time they've received a pay raise in eons. And then fact number two that he's wrong about, he said he raised the military's pay by 10%. Fact. It was raised 2.8% in 2018 and another 2.6 in the current agreement. Every time I come here, I have to shower and brush my teeth. I'm not believing 45 actually went there. I think he was on a set. Dem Warrior Princess, I agree with you. They didn't show anything. We haven't seen any photos yet of him actually being Iraq. I think he just landed at the airport in Germany, and they faked that, right? They just got a bunch of troops in the hangar. And in fact, they probably could tell by the uniforms of the troops that are there whether he was actually in Iraq or not. Well, do your research, my friend. But just get the speech online, and you can do that. Tia says, self-reflect. My guess is until Trump became president, you were always for ending wars. Tia, that's just not true. I am a pacifist until you punch me in the face. And then I'm going to defend myself. And no, I was not. That is true. I was not for the Iraq war. But it gets to a certain point in time when you have to realize that the world's most powerful nation, the nation that can bring humanitarian aid to people, the nation that has to defend itself for security reasons, is going to have to be involved around the world. There's no way we can be isolationists. Coco Beam says, if we were invited to Rev's house for dinner, we would be eating. That's just not nice. I believe he went. He looked so nervous. That is, Brenda, why I am kind of convinced he went, because he definitely was nervous, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. And you had plenty of people that came up and said, you know, we can make it smaller. I said, no, make it 10%. Make it more than 10% because it's been a long time. So he didn't give the military a 10% pay raise, and it hasn't been a long time since they've had a pay raise. What was Syria's punch in the face for you? Syria's punch in the face for me is the fact that Vladimir Putin has told the orange shitgibbon to get out of the country. That's the punch in the face for me, is that Trump is taking orders from Vladimir Putin, not listening to his generals and advisors who are telling him that we need to stay in Syria because ISIS isn't dead. So there you go. Lastly, here's how Trump reenacted conversations with his military leaders' advisors about leaving Syria, which concludes with him saying, nope, I gave you a lot of 6 months. It was too complicated for a series of tweets, so we're going to read these. Exactly, Nico. Fuck those Republicans. 1 year ago, I gave our general 6 months in Syria. I said, go ahead, get him. And it turns out was really a year and a half ago. I said, go get him. We need 6 months. Go get him. And then they said, we need another 6 months. And I said, go get him. This is the President of the United States telling generals, go get him. Then they said, can we have like one more period of 6 months? I said, nope, nope. I said, I gave you 6 months, and now we're going to do it in a different way, and we're going to do it. And you're doing it, folks. You're doing it, just the remnants. That has nothing to do with Syria doing anything about us. Think about it. You are the Borg. Okay, Tia, well, we know whose side you're on, so you are definitely welcome to comment. But the United States of America, all we are going to be, if you understand the economies of the world, and I'm not saying whether this is good or bad, China is going to rule the planet. And the United States, and I mean this was predicted 25 years ago, the United States is going to be the policeman for China. We're going to be the policeman of the world. And we cannot become isolationists. Isolationism does not work. We can't isolate ourselves from this global economy that we have, and we should be working to make the world a better place, not just the United States. Making America great again isn't going to do a damn thing to keep us safe if we're putting walls up and borders are being secured in our country. I'm for open borders. I am totally for open. Syria, what do you understand geopolitics here? Syria is wanted by the Russians because they want a port to be able to get in and out of that part of the world. So Syria is a piece of land that we are trying to hold to help them be free, which that's not even the real reason. The real reason is to keep the Russians out of there. The last thing you want is the Russians having a foothold in that part of the world. The Russians are the bad guys here. The Russians are the bad guys here. And it is people like you that are pro-Putin that are giving all of this support to Trump that are just blowing this country up to fucking hell. That's the problem. That's the problem. We can continue seeing them pull the bodies out of dead children out of the rubble seems so unreal, seems like a movie. We can continue to fact-check the orange ass wipe, but what a stunt this was. Put on your own mask before your kids' masks on. USA can't help others if it can't help itself. We are doing fine in this country. Do you know why the economy is going into the tank? Because Donald Trump is the worst president in the history of presidents. Barack Obama gave us 7 years of a good economy after the Republicans tanked the economy. So there's nothing wrong with the American economy that couldn't be fixed by a decent president. I don't care if you're telling me I have a straw man argument. This is my show, Tia. And if you support that bastard, you're supporting Putin, you're supporting fascism, you're supporting the end of democracy, and that's just a fact. That's not a straw man argument. We can continue to fact-check the orange ass wipe, but what a stunt this was. First, he didn't go to Syria. It's sad they have to be explained about Russia. Isn't it, though, Dem Warrior Princess? It's really sad. Hold, Aiden, no, you can't sit on my lap, buddy. When we're done, you're going to bed, little man. But what a stunt this was. First, he didn't go to Syria or Afghanistan, which are actually war zones, okay? Iraq isn't a war zone, all right? Iraq isn't nearly as dangerous as Syria or Afghanistan, so this was just a political stunt, nothing more. That was what this was about, 100%. Hang on just a second, folks. I have to mute the microphone for a second, and I will be right back. Just hang on, everybody. I've got to connect my mixer up here, and I'm going to mute this microphone for 1 second. All right. The 5-year-old, not real good at taking my direction. I wouldn't make a very good commander-in-chief. Yep, I can't even manage a 5-year-old. Well, you know, back in the old days, he just likes to be with his dad. He loves me. So he didn't go to an actual war zone, number one, and I do think he went to Iraq. Humpty Trumpty was scared shitless when he headed to Iraq. And as he commented on it to the world, right, he was telling the world how scared he was. He told us of the fact that they had to turn all the lights off on the inside and outside of the plane. He spoke like a frightened schoolboy afraid of his own shadow during a power outage. Thank you, Tia. He's a sweetheart. This is just a fucking disgrace. The world's most powerful man on the planet is soiling his gold lame boxers because Air Force One is flying into a mildly hostile country. This piece of crap is what the supposedly patriotic right wing chooses to back as president. This fool is telling a 7-year-old girl on Christmas Eve that believing in Santa Claus is marginal at age 7. This guy is totally off his rocker. It's totally insane. And you morons on the right, you love this guy. You know what? I can work with the center right. I can work with the never Trumpers. But these hardcore Trump supporters, just get the fuck out of my country. We don't want the extreme right here anymore. Go to Russia. Go somewhere else. Go back to where you came from. We don't want you in this country anymore. Your brains don't operate right. Your amygdalas are swollen. You're scared all of the time. You're frightened to death, just like Trump is. And we can't work with you guys. It's just not possible. Tirade Wednesday. This is Tirade Wednesday. I blame Pence at this point for not invoking the 25th Amendment. The problem with Pence is, here's the big problem with Pence, is the fact of the matter is that he's probably as guilty as the Trump Meister is as it relates to Russia. So invoking the 25th Amendment, you know what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to indict Pence before Pence can pick somebody to be vice president. Then Nancy Pelosi becomes president of the United States, and woohoo, that would be awesome Could you imagine how great this country would be if Nancy Pelosi were president of the United States? Simply asking a 7-year-old to put doubts in their head that Santa doesn't exist. I know, it's absolutely ridiculous. The extreme right is another straw man. Very true. Some Trump supporters are far right. Please, Tia. Please. What are you smoking? What kind of crack are you smoking? The far right loves that guy. The 30%, the 38% that support Trump, those are all right-wing nut jobs. You're absolutely crazy. You're telling me the center right is who supports Trump? Please. It is the right-wing nut jobs, that about 30% of this country that can just get the hell out of here. I'm tired of them. They are destroying this country. That's what they did with Agnew. Wow, did you think of that yourself or look it up, says Jack 3D. Welcome, Jack 3D, to the program. Here's the last thing that I just had for the day, and let me just say this too. Tia, it is great that we can have this conversation on this show, and I appreciate your opinion in that you can deliver your opinion on this show, because we are open-minded enough to listen to you. You're not trolling us that hard. Absolutely, the center-right supports Trump. That's never Trumpers. That's never Trumpers. The Rick Santorums of the world, that's the far right. The Tea Party, that's the far right. The center-right is filled with never Trumpers. I'm ready to move to Scotland or Canada or somewhere else. More power to you, Brenda, if you can do that. Definitely, that should be an alternative, but I think we should just get rid of anybody that supports Trump. And see, you're just like Larry Gump, Tia. You think you're in the center, but if you support Trump, I mean, first of all, there's something wrong. Evolution has not done you justice in the way that you think, because anybody that supports Trump has serious issues with their brain, and I don't think it's like having a narcissistic personality. You cannot, it's not something you can repair. Damn, the Tea Party is what started this crap. Exactly, Brenda. These are the people that are on the far right that claim to be in the center right. The center right is filled, that's the Anna Navarros of the world. That's the center right. Listen, this man is out to fool all of you. So the SCOTUS is handling a case against Trump right now. We could get a surprise soon. Bobby says true. This is the biggest straw man argument that we're getting from somebody like Tia. We get this all the time, that they're telling us that sorry, I've been looking at my screen and not looking at you guys. They're telling us that, oh, no, like Larry Gump. No, I'm in the middle. I'm sitting on the fence. No. Anybody that supports Trump, by virtue of the fact that they support Trump, Cocoa Beam, there's been tons of indictments. Have you not been watching the news? Oh, that's right. They don't tell you about indictments on Fox News. They tell you about little lost kittens. And Ann Coulter and Rush Limbaugh. They run the government. Oh, that is just delicious. Delicious iced tea. So the other thing, because we've been on here for about 23 minutes, and I am enjoying talking to all you folks a lot, but I wanted to talk here a little bit about no catch and release. Also in today's news, the hypocrisy is just off the charts. A spray-on tan turnip has been railing against catch and release, saying how they were going to stop the practice, and yet tonight they released 520 detainees into the U.S. So no catch and release. We're not going to let these people that are coming here seeking asylum, we're not going to catch and release them. I definitely don't have narcissistic personality disorder. You're not open-minded and seeking to understand. Tia, what kind of Russian troll are you? Trump has told 7,500 lies since he took office. Jack 3D, I love you. I want to make sure I'm following you on here, buddy. Hang on just a second. View your profile. And Jack 3D, I'm following you. Hopefully you're following me on Twitter. Rush Limbaugh, Pumpkinhead, the alcoholic drug addict. That's Rush. That is for sure. So Trump has been railing against this catch and release system that Obama had, which is a decent system. You know what I mean? The majority of people that are seeking asylum show up for their court date. It's only a small amount of people that don't. And Trump has been detaining these people in concentration camps, and now they just released 520 of them. So they can't even get their policies consistent. You've got an acting attorney general. You've got an acting chief of staff. What do you got? An acting head of the EPA. Limbaugh is just a big fat bigot, and now he's president of the United States. Wow, says Bobby. Virtually everybody in Trump's cabinet is an acting member of the cabinet, and these guys can't get their crap together. You've got positions that aren't even being filled right now. This is the worst administration in American history. They've done absolutely nothing, and the president of the United States is collapsing the economy because he's talking about firing the Fed chief. I mean, he can't fire the Fed chief, and the Dow has dropped more in December than since the Great Depression. Donald Trump ordered that they immigrate children into custody, and so far, a few of them have died. That's what we're going to talk about right now, Nico, to make that Trump a murderer. Exactly, says Bobby. So that was the other part. Lastly, 2 Guatemalan children less than 10 years old have died in CBD custody. That's the Customs and Border Patrol. What the hell? As I predicted, concentration camps before the freaky fucking POTUS became president of the United States, I predicted that there would be concentration camps, and we've got 14,000 kids in detention. We have kids. Oh, Cocoa Beam, you are so cynical. That is just absolutely horrible. You need to wash your mouth out with soap, and like lye-based soap, my friend. LYE-based soap. Library of Congress will have his crazy tweets forever. Jack 3D, Bobby says, wow, so true. DK781 is here. Nepotism. They died. You know, Cocoa Beam, I'm not going down this road with you, buddy. The fact of the matter is, yeah, that's it. Exactly, Brenda. I mean, that's just a sick thing to say. You know, you've got kids that need to be taken care of. You've got kids separated from their parents that are having psychological problems because they're being pulled away from their parents. They've got kids in cages, as DK781 says. Asra 65, or is that Azra? Lack of facts. You know, they don't have the autopsy yet. They don't have the autopsy yet. And I will say that, you know, you can't pin this all on CBD. You know, the parents bear some responsibility, but they're running away from countries where their children are going to die if they stay. Yeah, you are just so mean, Cocoa Beam. For somebody that has deep faith, you are an absolutely soulless human being. 84% of illegals don't show up for their final court hearing. Okay. Uh-huh. And where'd you get that fact from? Likely the flu. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I know that's the question that I wonder about. Is that why you were gone so long? You were fact-checking me, Tia? Yeah, Cocoa Beam, you're not a realist. You're a believer. Realists are determinists. Ivanka and Kushner making money off of the government. Yes, they are. They have no business here. That's just not true, Tia. That's just not true. It's I would say 84% of them do show up because 84% of them are actually seeking asylum and get to stay in the United States. So that's just BS. That's just, it's bacterial meningitis. I mean, oh, God, let's hope that there's not something going on down there and going around down there. But, yeah, I think that, dude, this wasn't your family's country when they emigrated here before. I'm just tired of hearing that argument. My 5th great-grandfather got here at the end of a British gun. They told him, Mr. McInnes, congratulations, you're in the British Army, and they forced him to come here and fight in the French and Indian War. Nobody is, unless you're an indigenous person, nobody is from this country. Yes, you're born here, but your relatives came here, where everybody's grandma or grandpa is some type of anchor baby, and that is just absolutely ridiculous. You know, you live in Utah, where we've got just tons of room. I mean, I think that everybody that enters this country should be sent to Roy, Utah. So they didn't enter here. So they entered here legally. We had open borders. When did your family come here? We had open borders up until 1921, so anybody could come. We had open borders until 1921, so, you know, that's just semantics, basically, is what that is. Anybody that is talking, you know, it's just racism, folks. It's just downright racism. It's just downright racism. If you are afraid of immigrants, it's just downright racism. And that's right, dirty uncles. Asylum seekers have entered here legally. There's a legal process for it, and they entered here legally. The only true American is the American Indian, or they didn't enter, he said Nico Gotti. So, yeah, that's what I had on tap for you tonight, everybody. I mean, this has been fun. Seems like we were gone for a long time. What did we were gone for Saturday? Well, we're not on the weekends, so we missed Monday and Tuesday. Burnman won. Aren't you a Bernie supporter? Oh, don't even get me talking about Bernie. Oh, my God. Guy's not even a Democrat. Dem Warrior Princess is back. LOL, everything revolves around racism. Well, when you're the inherently racist group, when you're the white people, it kind of does all revolve around racism, right? Being white is inherently racist. You get that, right? You understand what that means? That it's the white people that are the oppressor, and it's the white people that are the problem, and it's the white people that need to straighten up their act. It's not the brown and black people that need to straighten up theirs. It's like the bootstrap argument. Well, I pulled myself up by my bootstraps. Well, you got a job interview because you were white. Yeah, I'm an elitist. I am 100% an elitist. I am all for getting you dirty bastards out of our country, and I'm talking about the right-wingers. I'm pro-immigrant, so they pay for themselves and their families and don't vote. Not sure what that means. Bobby says somebody's dead on. I'm not sure if he's talking about me or not. Sorry, swiped out by accident, Brenda G. No worries. Looks like Dirty Uncles is also a center-right. Well, thank you. I never said I was a genius. Well, actually, I have said that before. Technically, I am. Rickard267267 here. Yeah, I mean, come on, Tia. The dumpster in chief has lied 7,500 times. He can't stop lying. He insults the troops when he goes to Iraq. This is who you value. This is the party of Lincoln. This is the party of Reagan. This is the party of Bush and Bush 2. And this moron is who you're touting as the savior of humanity? Give me a break. Cocoa Beam, his parents are to blame for his views. Burnman, welcome to the show. Tia is way above you. Thank you, Cocoa Beam. Immigrants is fine as long as they foot the bill for themselves and aren't on the take. Oh, my God, I can't even believe you're a woman. Aren't on the take. You sound like a mobster. You're 100% correct and live in Texas. I'm on board with that, says Cocoa Beam. Ask the troops if they are insulted. I think they probably were. Immigrants are fine so long as... Oh, you're just repeating that there. So anyway, everybody, this has been fun. We're going to be back on tomorrow night. We'll come up with another show topic and join you guys. You can always support me at www.patreon.com/newsforleft or www.cash.me/revolutionm. It is time for the 5-year-old little commander here to get some sleep because tomorrow I think we're going to want to use that new drone that he got. You want to fly the drone tomorrow? I think he's agreeing with me. So this has been fun, everybody. Tia, anybody that's new, Bobby46, Dirty Uncles, I don't care what side of the fence you're on, everybody that's joined us tonight, that's just fine. If you start to become a serious troll, nobody will talk to you, Dirty Uncles, so it's not going to be. And Burnman, yeah, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Charlie159856. Bobby, thank you. Thank you, Dem Warrior Princess. Cocoa Beam, I know you love the show. You always do. Thanks to the Analog Kid for being here. And Analog Kid? Oh yeah, he's a big supporter of the show. All right, Dirty Uncles. I'll follow you too. Hang on just a second. There you go. You're following. All right, bud. It's all good. Maybe I was confused who you are. Rev, I think you should be the next POTUS, as you know what America is all about. All about watch the country. Thank you. I would agree with you. I don't know if you, according to you, you're not going to get intelligent conversation here, but I'm welcome to try, Tia. That is for sure. You're always welcome to the showgram. Cocoa Beam didn't like the show. He says, oh, hell no. Wow, Cocoa Beam is swearing. Did you get into the blessed wine there tonight, buddy? Brenda G 185 is with us. So this has been News for the Left and Us. My name is Revolution McInnes. Thank you so much for joining young Aiden and I on tonight's show. No, you're not confused, just open-minded. Oh, very good, Dirty Uncles. I like open-minded people. Cocoa Beam is saying hi to the kid. Again, appreciate everybody that watched the show. Make sure you're following him on Twitter. Make sure you tell your friends and family about the show. And yes, though, Tia, this is my show and I get to do what I want. If you have a show on Periscope, let me know. And I'll come in and talk to you about my side, and you can talk to me about your side. but it is ultimately my show. So, again, my name is Revolution McInnes. This has been News for the Left and Us. Peace be with all of you, and a big namaste. Good night, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me. Take care. Have a good night to you, everybody. Take care.